that dead horse like we do best. All right. So I want to zoom farther in on this idea that Bitcoin and the stock market are exactly correlated. Now, over time, they've gone in and out of phase with each other, but I believe in March 2020, they really started to become in lockstep. And when Bitcoin started, the 5-wave move that we discussed began in March 2020. The stock market, the Dow Jones, the SPY, they all started a 5-wave move in relatively similar periods. So let's just look at Bitcoin on a 5-wave move, right? We've looked at the Dow Jones back to the financial crisis bottoming reversal structure here. We've discussed the 5-wave move that we believe we're in right now. Now let's look at how Bitcoin also has a 5-wave move that very closely aligns with the 5-wave move of the Dow Jones starting back in 2009. So look at Bitcoin here. This chart goes back to 2010, but let's see if we can see a 5-wave move here. The one I see that jumps right out at me is a wave 1, a wave 2 down. This is the long wave 3 right here. This long wave 3. See? That's the thing. Wave 3, longest wave. Now we're in wave 5. So that's the wave 4 down, and looks like here is wave 5, and we're in that 3-headed reversal structure, and now you can see that reversal structure is the reversal structure for this entire cycle, right? Like it's the big one. You've never had a 3-headed reversal structure like you're about to see right now, because we've discussed the shape that Bitcoin's setting up to do is basically, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So we're basically looking for, just one more of these, right? And then this is the, 702 approximately. And look at that. Oh, I just improvised that. June 6, 2022 for the 702. If that's it, great. Who even cares? Doesn't matter. We're painting a big picture here. So now what's interesting with all these 5-wave moves talking, we think about this huge sell-off that occurred for Bitcoin, which we can clearly see the one that's kind of the equivalent in the stock market, same dates, same kind of like epic selling off. It really jumps out on the chart. March 2020 really, really stands out. So that's when those markets synced up. You got this 5-wave move going on the Dow Jones. We've talked about the fact that this is an ABC correction we're in on a wave 4 down, with this final wave 5 to the upside. Of course, within that wave 5 to the upside, there are 5 waves. So what's really interesting now is the Dow Jones holding a very important level. We're in like such a crucial little period, and it really seems like clockwork that this Dow Jones is holding this, because we just completed this ABC correction in the Dow Jones, right? Top of wave 4 right here. ABC correction, A, B, C, the heart wrencher down. That's the bottom of C. And look at that. February 24th. You guys remember what was going on that day? That was the day that Russia invaded Ukraine, and you saw bombing on television. It was like intense. That day was really intense. Can you imagine another news day that might come in the near future that could be more intense than that? Because if you could imagine that, well, then maybe we will see more downside on the S&P before going up. But it really looks like you've now started the beginning of that first impulsive move within this 5-wave move we're looking for that's going to take us up to the 4.236 extension. So you see a lot of confluence if this level holds here, and then this is a classic wave 1 in a wave 5, right? Because think about wave personalities. We haven't talked much about wave personalities, but we have talked about the idea that wave 3 is almost always the biggest wave. Well, one of the interesting personalities of wave 1 is wave 1 almost always comes all the way back down to where it starts. Look how almost it's so close to where it started. And even if it does come down further, right, it could come down insanely far. It's interesting. If it does break below it, well, then guess what? That just means this ABC correction wasn't over. And then you have to start a new 5-wave move a little lower, right? So we don't have to necessarily hold this line in order for the bull market situation to be intact with this final 5-wave move to the upside here. It's just interesting that this line is holding, and then that implies that this is a classic wave 1 setting up for a wave 3, right? Wave 3 going to be the longest wave in this, little small fractal 5-wave move. So wave 1 up, wave 2 down, and now you got the wave 3 within that. wave 4 down, and there you go, wave 5, and that completes the first move of this 5-wave move that we're looking at here. You see this? And then, of course, the top of that 5-wave move initiates that larger ABC correction, just like we talked about with Bitcoin, and you can see really clearly that 3-headed reversal structure, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and that would be also the massive ABC correction for the entire 14-year bull market here, right? And now you can see it's a massive reversal structure, right? So remember wave 3, biggest wave. So the top of wave 3 oftentimes looks like a left shoulder, right? And then the top of wave 5 looks like a head, and then it's the top of the C leg, where the C leg and the B leg meet on the ABC correction that gives you that right shoulder. So that's why you have those head and shoulder reversal structures that look very similar, like a 1, 2, 3 head picture. And that's what Bitcoin's setting up, a 1, 2, 3 head picture, right? And so now all of this to say, we've zoomed so far out, we're really, really looking at the big picture here to try to ask the question, do we have the conditions to expect this, this magnificent altcoin season that I've been talking about since literally here. So it still hasn't happened. We're still waiting, since fall 2020. A lot of things did go crazy, but everybody knows, like a lot of things did not make a new all-time high, right? So XRP did not make a new all-time high. XLM did not make a new all-time high. Dash, Zcash, EOS, OMG, the list goes on. Maker, there's a lot. There's a lot. A lot of the OG coins haven't made their new all-time high, and Bitcoin hasn't retraced 702 based off of its high for the whole cycle, because I'm arguing that this is the reversal structure for the entire Bitcoin cycle, right? So that sets up like literally, the most magnificent, ABC correction you've seen on Bitcoin, which is why it finally looks like that 3-headed reversal structure, and you do not see a 3-headed reversal structure anywhere else in the chart, right? So the top of this right shoulder is your 702 altcoin season, right? So then we're looking at coins that we believe have upside during this 702 retracement for Bitcoin, right? Because maybe some coins already have completed their bull cycle, right? Like Solana stands out as being that. Also, Luna could stand out because look at this. Look what Luna is set up to do. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. So Luna topped right here March 21st and started an ABC correction. And look how in sync that was with Bitcoin, right? So Luna is dead on in sync with Bitcoin. As Bitcoin moves up, like into November 10th, around this time, Luna is right along with it. But what's really interesting here is you have this ABC correction here on Luna. A, B, C, the heart wrencher during the May crash. When Bitcoin crashed, all the market crashed. And then what does Luna do? It starts a move to the upside after that ABC correction. Now, watch what happens when I show you a parallel universe in the form of Band Protocol. Look at these dates. So Band Protocol had its top on April 12th, 2021, exactly when Bitcoin topped, like almost to the day, right? And then it has an ABC correction, A, B, C, the heart wrencher. Now, what do we see after C, the heart wrencher for Band? Nothing. It's still at C, the heart wrencher. So if I compare that to Luna, I'm saying that Luna is way past the ABC correction here and moved on to the upside when a lot of coins like Band Protocol, like let's find XLM here. XLM is the same situation. XLM, we have an A, B, C, the heart wrencher, and XLM is still down on C, the heart wrencher. So what I'm saying is Luna is showing us what happens after C, the heart wrencher. Look at this setup. And also Solana did the same thing. A number of coins have done this where they finished their C, the heart wrencher, and they just ripped up, and they've already done, look at this too. No surprises here. It's a 4.236 extension. What else would you expect? So would I buy Luna up here? No, I would not. But if Luna keeps going, well, holy crap, that's crazy, right? That would be, no one can expect that, but if it does, it has implication for the rest of the market. Now, what's really more important to focus on is the rotation of capital, right? So think about if Luna has already reached out to a 4.236 extension after an ABC correction over the same period of time that Band Protocol, literally it's the same period of time, Band Protocol made an ABC correction and it just stayed in the C correction that entire time. All this time, other coins like Luna and Solana are ripping up. Band Protocol is just staying in that C correction, but now you have all this capital that's reached out to a 4.236 extension on Luna. What's inevitably going to happen is this capital, this bubble, this Luna bubble is going to pop, and that liquidity will flow potentially into things like Band Protocol. Your guess is as good as mine. It might flow into XLM. Your guess is as good as mine, right? This is how you have to make these decisions, though. But you can see that there's a lot of liquidity in the market. A lot of things have moved up to these levels after the market-wide ABC correction that occurred after Bitcoin top, right? This is a market-wide ABC correction, right? So Bitcoin had a top right here, and it did an ABC correction after that top. Remember this. A down, B up. This is all See the Heart Wrencher, right? So a lot of things are still hanging out on See the Heart Wrencher, but other things like Luna have moved up absurd amounts. Like what was Luna here at that lowest point? 369. And what's it today, right? Exactly. So exactly. And it reached out to a 4.236 extension, which we're measuring against all of our altcoins, right? So we're not really too worried about, the wave count on Luna. I'm more interested in the big picture Elliott wave scenario and trying to find those conditions for the altcoins, right? Does Bitcoin have more upside, and does it have a structural implication for that 702? And I'm making the argument, repeatedly beating that dead horse, that it literally does have the exact structural implication for that 702. And do we have conditions elsewhere to facilitate that? And I just already explained to you why the Dow Jones is setting up for a final 5-wave move, and that's 5 of 5 of 5 based on the cycle that began here, right? So yes, we're in the end game, obviously, as you can see, but the end game has implications for things like Band Protocol, for things like Stellar Lumens, for things like OMG, like literally all, like, go back to the beginning of OMG charts, right? You'll see what I'm saying. I mean, exactly. When these things haven't gone, they haven't done the Fibonacci, right? Think about Luna. Luna wasn't in the previous bull market. Luna was not here in 2018, right? It doesn't have this monster high from a previous history that's giving this deep, deep implication. Look at that. OMG, tags at 702, pinpoint nails it. What does that imply? That implies it's probably going to play by some more Fibonacci rules as Bitcoin retraces to the 702, right? And this is just one example of many. Luna made a 4.236 extension rip based off of the April 15th high of Bitcoin to the bottom, which Luna had a top there, then at bottom, and then it did a 4.236 extension based on that. Well, what if you consider OMG's all-time high to all-time bottom Fibonacci? That's the most powerful gravitational one. We've already seen the respect here of the 702, foreshadowing that there is a Fibonacci cycle setting up here. And then once again, we have those market conditions for Bitcoin. So it's not just OMG, it's all of the coins that are deep in an ABC correction and have not started the move that begins after the ABC correction. And isn't that interesting how Bitcoin is aligned to make this retracement here? And no matter how long it takes, it doesn't actually matter. All the conditions are set. I'm not a day trader. I am literally an aggressive, high-risk white knuckler. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys know my style, right? And you've seen it work. You saw my new cipher trade. You saw my OMG trade. You saw my Cosmos trade. You saw my Curve trade. I'm sure I'm forgetting other ones on here, but this is basics, right? All of the trades that I've done here that have been successful were just because I just waited. Oh, Matic. I just waited. You know what I mean? Like, like all these coins are going up like crazy, like Luna's going up crazy, like Solana's going up crazy, and I'm just like sitting here with Band Protocol, and it's like, wow. But it's like, no, dude, I know what Band Protocol is going to do. I have no doubts about Band Protocol, just like I had no doubts about NuCypher. You know, I was waiting on NuCypher, not even that long. I mean, these are not very long periods of time, right? So I'm like, yeah, worst case scenario, Band Protocol comes out of its ABC correction and copies Luna. Luna is a high market cap coin. These low market cap gems, Band Protocol, TRB, Bond, these low cap gems, they may be set up for something a little bit different here. You know, I don't want to get my hopes up too hard for that, but, you know, think about this, right? You know, you have two ways to look at the way that these altcoins are going to rip. They can rip by this rule, or they can rip by the more traditional Fibonacci rule. But we've already seen the Fibonacci respect from Mana, from Luna, from Solana. And let's just remind ourselves, where do we get all these, you know, the source Fibonacci's, right? The source Fibonacci's are here, right? So 2017 high to 2019 bottom gave us that obvious situation. What gave us this? So this is where it gets interesting for a second, right? This is, oh, how come this didn't take us there? Oh, because this one did, right? So that's how we know, right? So we've got all kinds of Fibonacci measurements, just to show you. Like the top of that measurement gives you 2017 to the cent, right? Isn't that interesting? And the Fibonacci from 2017 top gives us pretty damn close to the top of what we got here. So, you know, these tools quite literally work very, very effectively. And so I'm using them throughout the crypto market. Also, you use them in the stock market because look at this. The Dow Jones played by it as well. Why do I even have this 5-wave move argument? Because of this basic measurement, right? Like, I hope that clarity is just so clear. Like, I hope you guys see the conditions for the rotation to occur are exactly set, right? This is a rotation play, right? A lot of high market cap assets are bubbles. Those bubbles are going to pop. For example, Luna, the bubble that's already reached out to its 4.236 extension, is technically a bubble. And who wouldn't expect that bubble to pop and find some value on a coin that's hanging out on its C heart wrencher and hasn't even gone anywhere near these Fibonacci levels, right? Based on the exact same time frame. All right, so does that all make sense? Because, I mean, that's when I'm just like, dude, oh, my God, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Like, you can understand why I feel that way, hopefully, right? Okay, so, good.